Every week, the Payne family cuts straight to the real financial story.
The one question, Bob, everyone's asking is, are we in an artificial intelligence bubble? You've been through boom and bust. What do you think?
No hype, no myths. Just what actually matters to your money.
Does feel very similar to what we experienced in the 90s. Where are we, though? Are we in 1995, 1997, 1999?
Listen to the Pain Points of Wealth on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
The Larry Kudlow Show. Entertaining and informative on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
So one of the interesting things this past week, probably didn't get enough attention, is the United States finally signed a trade deal with Taiwan. Okay, Taiwan, 150 miles across the sea from communist China. It was the Taiwan Semiconductor Company is going to put in something like $250 million, billion dollars. The government is going to put in another $250 billion. It's a $500 billion deal. Producing chips, advanced chips in the United States, building factories, which is what Trump loves. Anyway, the point is, it's kind of in your face to China. It just shows more ties with Taiwan. We're not going to desert them. And lo and behold, this fabulous article comes out in the Wall Street Journal from Dr. Arthur Herman, who is the founder of Freedom Forge Solutions, former National Security Council senior advisor under Trump. He worked with O'Brien, I think, Pulitzer Prize finalist, and his book, which is coming out in April, Founder's Fire, from 1776 to the Age of Trump. And one of the hypotheses here is that the United States is the great power, the one single power in the world today. It's I believe that what's the term? Unipower is the term, but it's so important. Hold on. Yeah, Wall Street Journal. America is the sole superpower again. China could have been a contender, but Trump has led the U.S. to a new unipolar moment. Really, and nobody's saying this, and that's why it's so important. Arthur, welcome to radio. You did a great job on TV. We'll have a little more time now. Just talk to me.
Sure.
What was, so you're out there thinking, you wrote this book. Why in your judgment are we leaving China second, in the dust? Everybody in the world is so fearful of China, right? You see it, everybody, all the newspapers, media, and so forth and so on. And you're saying, no, we're knocking them down.
We're knocking them down. And I got to say, over the last decade, I've been adding to that alarm. I've been writing about China and cyber, China and AI, China and quantum, China and 5G and hypersonics, and about China's alarming rise of its Navy even before that. But what I'm seeing right now, Larry, is that China is more and more moving into a kind of defensive crouch. And I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that they are now realizing that the United States has a leader, a president, who is really mobilizing all the resources that we have, economic resources, including our energy dominance, our military, our high-tech industries, and is really now mobilizing those to really seize the initiative in world events and in global trends. And China and the media is still trying to figure out what to do. And I wrote this piece because I wanted to alert everyone. This is a rare moment in history. It happened twice in the 20th century, after World War II, and then again at the end of after the Cold War. And now it's happening in the 21st century. And we are now really the dominant superpower, able to shape and direct world events and trends, and China and Russia and the media are scrambling to try and catch up.
What a hypothesis. As we talked on the TV show, one example of that, I think, is in what's happening in South America.
Very much.
Trump taking, strong steps, blowing up the Chavista communist Maduro regime in Venezuela. We're actually winning in Argentina. We're winning in Chile. I think dominoes will continue to fall, Colombia and Cuba. So now, Arthur, China was, they thought they were getting a toehold. And I do worry about Brazil a lot. But China thought but really they're kind of getting elbowed out, aren't they?
I think they are. And Iran as well. Which had roots in there going back. I wrote about this in the Wall Street Journal some years ago. Again, pushing the alarm bell on these trends in our own hemisphere. But, there's another thing that just happened, Larry, that I think is worth highlighting. And that is one of the other attributes of a sole superpower is the moral authority. And you know what really symbolized that for me this last day was when Maria Machado passed her Nobel Prize to Donald Trump. That's a powerful moral moment for the United States. And of course, everyone's head exploded in sort of the conventional opinion world about this. They can't get their minds around this. But what it really symbolized the fact that we are now in the moral leadership of the planet, as well as our military dominance, which is second to none, and also to now our economic dominance, which I think this coming year is going to be amazing. I mean, I think we're going to hit 5% GDP growth at least a couple times, don't you?
I do. I'm in that camp. I've been proselytizing that because of Trump's policies. He's unleashing capitalism, and you see it across the board. And the numbers are – I don't know that the White House is marketing it as well as they should, but the numbers are – you're right. If it could be 5, 6, 7%, and the inflation rate's going down, which raises the point, Arthur. I mean, I have some China experience. I was on the China trade team for a couple of years in the first term.
Yes, you were.
But, their economy has basically been in a recession stall speed for years. I mean, right? They had this property collapse. They have not recovered. You look at the Chinese numbers, like it used to be China GDP would come out around, 12, 15% every quarter. And used to drive Trump crazy, by the way. But now their own estimates publicly are around 5%. Which, I read as recession because, they're puffing up everything. So they don't, it's like Soviet Union, right? In the 80s, right? Gorbachev didn't have the wherewithal to match us in our military weaponry and Reagan's vision of Star Wars and so forth. It's like the same things China, I don't think their economy can support the military state they're trying to produce.
No, I think you're right. And I don't think perestroika is on the horizon for Beijing either, because the lesson that President Xi has drawn from the collapse of the Soviet Union is you block reform, you tighten the controls, you make sure the command economy is even stronger than before, and of course what it does is it shuts down their opportunities for making a transition to a real thriving, growing economy without government intervention and government support. And the other point that you'll make too is it's also an export-driven economy. And yes. Trump's tariffs policies have thrown that into a tailspin as they realize now with Trump's tariffs that the United States is not going to be their future customer and play that kind of role that it has for helping to drive the economy. And that's why right now they're scrambling to try and find trade deals with Canada, with countries in Southeast Asia and in Europe to make up for the shortfall that's going to happen due to Trump's tariff policies. And from that article that I wrote, that's another ingredient in how Trump has rediscovered our superpower roots has been his trade policy, his tariff policy, which has really redirected the whole direction and tempo of global trade in ways that are going to be permanently disadvantageous to China, I believe. Alongside that, the newer we are being tougher on technology and technology transfers. Our export control policies
are tightening up, with one exception, the NVIDIA thing, which I did not like. I think that even though that wasn't a super chip, I still wouldn't give it to them because they'll reverse engineer it, and that's what they do. But in the main, Arthur, we're tightening up our export controls and stopping China from getting anything, really. I think, and if they get out of line, Trump will slap. He'll go back and put another 25-50% tariff on them. So I think we have it's when your book's coming out in April. Huh? Is that you're going to make is that hypothesis part of the book?
I think it is. Well, what it's about is one of the themes of that book is that one of the reasons why people have not really understood Donald Trump is because they don't realize that he is a founder. He is an entrepreneur, and he brings that founder energy and drive and vision to the presidency.
All right.
And one of the reasons is because he understands that you can't, if you're going to have a strong 21st century economy and society, you need a 21st century government.
Yeah.
And that's also part of what Trump is trying to do and what's underway here as well.
Dr. Arthur Herman. The book coming out is Founders Fire, from 1776 to the Age of Trumps, coming out in April. China in second place. Thank you very much, Arthur.
The Larry Kudlow Show. Entertaining and informative on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
America's debt is now over $38 trillion. So protect your savings with something real. Gold. Sanctuary Metals helps you move a portion of your retirement into physical gold. Tax deferred and penalty free. Please call 800-801-6487 or just visit sanctuarymetals.com to get your free retirement defense guide. That's sanctuarymetals.com.